we start?
You can start.
Okay, so I would like to welcome everybody here. It's December 2019. I came from Poland when I visited my mom in August, and it took me 3 months to work on this painting. So I'd like to welcome my family, my brother Thomas, my nephew Michael, and my dear friend Greg. Thank you for coming, and it's an honor that you are with me here today. So this painting portrays our ancestor. His name is Dominik Maslowski. He was born in 1791 and he was a jeweler. The painting was done in Krakow by Józef Brodowski the Younger in 1851. And since that time it was in the hands of our family, it has been. So obviously it was passed on my grandfather and later on to my father, but it was still at our grandmother's house. And once she passed on, it was brought to our mom's house in Krakow, and it was there ever since. So anyway, after all the renovations, after all the travel, after all the appraisals in Krakow, getting the documents, the journey through the Atlantic Ocean and from Newark to my place, and then through all the renovations and photographing at Taylor's Photo in Princeton, and then assembling the frames back and cleaning them, it's finally here. So it is my honor to unveil it now. So.
Beautiful. It's a magnificent painting. Look at closer to it. So see. Looks very beautiful. So it was cleaned?
Well, it was not cleaned that much because it had been cleaned by your ex-girlfriend at one point, and it was just preserved, and there are 2 touch-ups because the painting was damaged. So, there were some issues with the forehead, so that part is touched up, and there were some issues with the cheek, but I cannot tell from this side which one it is, but I have it in my write-up. So that was touched. It was not touched by a professional painter, but somebody who renovates the stuff. So maybe at one point, Michael, your generation will choose to have it professional done. However, it is thousands of dollars to have it done by a professional. So, I just assess that it's good enough. And I also want to address Dominik now and just thank him for coming with us to America as our family moves all over the world, and thank him for just enduring all this process, and especially being at the Warsaw airport for a week in the custody of Polish customs. It must have been an ordeal, so I apologize, it wasn't on me, and you didn't come with me as I flew here. You came exactly a week later. So welcome, and I hope this painting is with the family forever. So now I can take your questions.
Dziękujemy bardzo za to, że przywierzył pana Dominika. Pięknie wygląda. Dominik Maslowski. Na pewno się cieszy, że jest w Ameryce i nie spodziewał się tego, że kiedykolwiek się znajdzie w Ameryce. I pewnie jest bardzo szczęśliwy z tego powodu, że został reunited with the family members.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Tom said that Dominik is happy to be reunited with the family, and that he never expected to be here in America.
I see.
Yeah, so Michael.
Okay, so how did you obtain, Dominik, the painting from Poland?
So you see, that has always been passed on to the oldest male in the family. So I imagine that Dominik's son got this painting, and then it came eventually to our great-grandfather Mieczysław, not yours. Then to our grandfather Stanisław, the one who was murdered by the Soviets. And then it was passed on to my father because he was the oldest of the twins. And so as I said, my mom had this since my grandmother passed away, and my father passed away. I think our grandmother always had this painting. I don't think it has ever been with us before our parents divorced. So, after my father died and my grandmother died, it finally made it to my mom with the intention of Tom getting it. But then Tom immigrated to America, and it stayed with my mom's for the next, I believe, 32
years.
Right.
86.
So, and over the years we were discussing how to bring this painting and another one here, but it was always such a difficult task, and there were so many steps and formalities and fighting with the Polish Ministry of Culture, and even the dimensions are such that you cannot take it on the board of a plane. So a special crate had to be built, and it had to be transported as a cargo. And there were just multiple issues: how to pick it up from my mom's house, how to pick it up from the Newark airport and bring it here. But the most difficult one was with the Polish Ministry of Culture, because they had to give a permit. So now it goes to Tom, and I guess Tom is to decide what you do next, because time change, and the tradition was that it goes to the oldest male, but female are equally good as males, and Liz is the oldest, so I don't know what Tom is going to do.
Alright, can you tell us more about Dominik Maslowski?
I only can tell you that he was a jeweler by trade, and you see, Greg, could you please help me
show
to
the other side? That'd be good. You could show the other side of this painting.
if we can move it.
Wow. So this is the guy who painted it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just wrote Dominik Maciej is his middle name, Maslowski, then it says jeweler, born on February the 24th in 1781, and then the second paragraph sort of says it was painted by J. Brodowski Józef, and from the appraisal I know that it was Józef Brodowski the younger, because there were two painters. So I guess the woman knows it from the style of painting, and it was painted in Krakow on January the 20th, 1851. So I assume that at that point Dominik was 70 years old.
70 years old, yes, he looks very good at 70.
I am thinking that it's fudged, and maybe this maybe this was written later,
So
when he died.
Would they lie about? Would the painter lie about?
I don't know. For 70, he looks very good. He doesn't have any gray hair. Yeah,
Some of the things are.
So during your trip in Poland, did you see Franciszek Kajetan Maslowski? And
no, I haven't gone there yet. It's but Tom did. Tom, Liz, and Chris saw it in the museum in Warsaw, in the National Museum of Art.
Wilanów, actually, and it's like castle, palace, King's Palace in Wilanów, next to Warsaw.
So I haven't, but Tom has pictures of it. And actually, my next step, after I'm done with this painting, I want to contact the Warsaw Museum of Art in Wilanów to ask if they have a scan of Franciszek, because maybe they do. Maybe we can just get the CD.
And you would print it and we would be
Here.
able to, yeah, and then we can exchange it with the real thing. You don't know how it happened that it ended up in Wilanów in
No.
the museum, and why is it not in our collection?
No, so do you have any more questions?
Yes, two
Sure.
more. Some say you look like Dominik Maslowski. Do you
Oh,
agree?
really?
Can we turn it around?
Wow, this is interesting.
Do you?
I think I have a jaw,
A little bit, I think. Right?
you know, and maybe a bit of a nose. Yeah, so you have to just
Eyes, maybe.
decide. I think Tom can say that our father, Władysław, looked somewhat like him. Don't you think so? No?
Maybe I don't know.
There's definitely some features in there of your family. I can see it.
What do you like most about the painting?
You know that it's so long ago, but I know that he was alive, and that and what he did, and also I know now why I like jewelry so much, and I cannot wait to talk about that
So
with
you think
him.
it's in your
and
DNA,
then-
the jewelry thing? Attraction to gems?
So,
But the fact that he was standing in front of this painting and he was posing to it, but then he was looking at it too, like we are now. So this is this eternal connection, I think, with our ancestors.
Yeah, just knowing, knowing that. I don't think many people have that, to look back so much. I think generations after you will have all this data, the video. It's accessible to everybody today, but in the past it was not, and we are lucky to have it. And also it is a connection to Krakow, and we grew up there with your father, so it's kind of nice to know that he walked the same streets in the center of the main market square as I did. And I also like the idea that he probably would be proud of us now that the name is perpetuated and even expanded outside of Poland, Europe, that we are now in America, starting here.
Very good points, yes. Exactly.
So I also would like to thank Greg for all the help he has given, and you really helped me a lot with every step, and your advice is priceless.
Sure thing.
And as an artist, you know what to do, and you appreciate that, and it was extremely helpful, and I just do not have the words to thank you enough, and you were always there.
Honored to help you with it.
With every little step, with just carrying it, advising me on stuff. So thank you again.
You're welcome.
So we thank you too. We appreciate everything.
Sure
Our
thing.
next step is Franciszek Kajetan Maslowski from Milano.
Thank you. And those were questions.
Okay,
You did
great.
very well.
Great. So Tom, would you like to say anything?
That was magnificent, Andrew. I have other ideas about other artifacts from our family. For instance, did you visit pharmacy museum in Poland, in Krakow actually?
Yes, I did.
You did? Did you see the original sheet?
Yes, I did.
From the pharmacy? So
Yes.
that's what I want to have.
Yes.
I think maybe we
You
could.
cannot have it.
I cannot have. I can't have it actually because
That was above the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could probably scan it, 3D scan. We could print it in 3D, and we could exchange it with the real thing. I know the lady who is the director of the pharmacy. I helped her put up the book about our pharmacy. So this is not so
Far-fetched.
fast. Exactly. It could probably happen. Imagine about the real sheet. We would have it. People were looking at it as they were walking in.
Wow.
So there are more things like this. This is beautiful, Magda. Thank you very much.
Oh, you are very welcome.
As soon as I become billionaire, I will probably try to pay you back for all the expenses. You want to say how much it was altogether, or not on the camera?
It's not on the camera, and it was way beyond the value of the ski.
Definitely. Right. Exactly. Okay. Very well. Thank you very much, Magda, and we'll try to assemble some kind of short film
Oh,
and put it on YouTube.
okay.